I rise in strong support of the South Pacific Tuna Treaty Act of 2025, introduced by my friend, Congresswoman Radewagen of American Samoa. This legislation, which was adopted by voice vote in the House in the 118th Congress, codifies updates to the South Pacific Tuna Treaty that were first agreed to in 2016 and later adopted by the United States Senate in 2022. The United States first entered into this treaty with 16 Pacific Island nations under President Ronald Reagan. It gives the United States access to some of the most fertile fishing waters that are found anywhere in the world. This strengthens the United States tuna fleet, which has experienced a rapid decline in recent decades, while also bolstering the United States presence in the South Pacific. In the 2016 amendments improved the treaty's execution and clarified specific provisions. However, these important updates have not been codified, which has caused regulatory uncertainty. Adopting this legislation will bring about the next chapter of the United States engagement in the South Pacific. I thank Ms. Radewagen for her leadership on this important issue, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentlewoman from Oregon is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. H.R. 531, the South Pacific Tuna Treaty Act of 2025, will help sustain American tuna fisheries and the conservation of marine resources in the South Pacific. This legislation would implement the South Pacific Tuna Treaty, a multilateral treaty between the United States government and the Pacific Island states. This treaty authorizes the small U.S. purse seine vessel fleet to fish in specific and exclusive economic zones in the Pacific Island countries that are part of the treaty. These parties include Australia, the Cook Islands, Fiji, New Zealand, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, the Solomon Islands, Tonga, and many more island nations. The exclusive economic zones of these nations are very close together and not far from American Samoa. There's little international water between them. Purse seine fishing often uses fish aggregating devices, or FADs, which are large circular nets that drift independently through the water for hundreds of miles until they catch fish. They have sonar and GPS, so the fishing boat knows where they are and when the net is full. The nature of this fishing method, combined with the proximity of these countries, means that FADs can be released in international waters but float through other countries' EEZs, catching fish along the way. Without access to these EEZs, the U.S. purse seine fleet cannot retrieve the fish that they catch. The South Pacific Tuna Treaty provides the U.S. fleet with access to these lucrative tuna fishing grounds and facilitates cooperation on various issues. It's been vital for almost 3 decades, fostering a mutually beneficial strategic and economic relationship between the United States and the Pacific Island countries. The treaty was entered into force in 1988, was extended in 1993, then again in 2002. Most recently, the parties began renegotiating the treaty and its annexes in 2009 and reached agreement in 2016. The bill today proposes adjustments to the South Pacific Tuna Act of 1988 to implement the amended treaty, mainly providing more flexibility for U.S. vessels and the Pacific Island countries to negotiate access levels while ensuring a stable operating environment. This legislation will enable the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to implement annual access and fee agreements and new operational requirements efficiently, provided we still have enough staff to operate NOAA efficiently. It will allow the United States and its vessels operating under the treaty to better utilize these benefits. This bill will benefit U.S. fisheries and help maintain a strong U.S. presence in the South Pacific region. I urge a yes vote on this bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentlewoman reserves. The gentleman from Arkansas is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from American Samoa, the lead sponsor of this bill, Ms. Radewagen.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Talofa laba. Good afternoon. I rise today in support of my bill, the South Pacific Tuna Treaty Act. I represent beautiful islands of American Samoa and the South Pacific. This bill implements into statute the most recent changes to the South Pacific Tuna Treaty that was negotiated between NOAA and other signatory countries to the treaty. These changes are important to support the American fishing fleet in the South Pacific, of which many boats call American Samoa home. These changes improve the operations conditions and flexibility for the fleet, which is America's last true distant water fishing fleet. I want to thank the bill's co-sponsor, Congressman Case from Hawaii, for his support of this legislation. Thank you. Soifua Maia Manuia.